Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to the broadcast on this 14th day of August 2023. We are glad that you've chosen EBN TV to inform you tonight. We've got quite a lot in store. Here are the day's top stories. Back to the drawing board. Kenya Kwanza, Azimio hold bipartisan talks at the Bomas of Kenya. Cries of parents and learners in Uasin Gishu County continue to be heard over the university scholarship scheme as the victims threaten protests ahead of devolution conference. Raila Odinga pledges to seek justice for victims of police brutality, says bipartisan talks will not hinder the cause. Hey there, I'm Cynthia Nanjala. We get started. Parents and students who were promised by Uasin Gishu County to study in Canada and Finland and were defrauded of more than 900 million shillings have now vowed to disrupt the meeting that is expected to take place there on Tuesday. The governance or the devolution conference is expected to be officially opened by President William Ruto come Friday, and the parents say that leaders of the county have been calling parents one by one to convince them not to participate in the protests. The governor, Jonathan B., says whether the money will be returned or not, there are no strategies to give the money back to the parents.
After the devolution, tutatupwa mbali. Hata hatutaonekana. Chelili mna Mandago. Mandago unaongea maneno ambao hata hauna haya. Hauna hata ile roho ya kukatika. Uliongea ukasema hata hao wasingisho wakifanya yenye watafanya, kuna mafuta ya nguruwe tutasukuliwa mpaka hiyo vitu yote itaisha. Umewahi kusukuliwa? Tusukue na pesa yetu.
Being the hope of your parents. And then all of a sudden the leaders who are elected robbed from the same parents. It's a story that will never be told in this world.
Refund?
No devolution conference.
No refund?
No devolution conference.
Now, President William Ruto flew to Eldoret town on Sunday ahead of the start of the devolution conference that is slated to start on Tuesday, August 15th to 19th. The president flew from Uganda, where he had met his counterpart Yoweri Museveni earlier in the day. In Eldoret, security has been tightened ahead of the start of the event. Top security officials, led by the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police, Douglas Kanja, have been holding a series of meetings to plan the situation on the ground. Over 10,000 participants, both locally and internationally, are expected to attend. President William Ruto is expected to officially open the conference on Wednesday, and former United Kingdom Prime Minister Tony Blair is among the dignitaries expected to attend the meeting.
So far, hii devolution venye imekuja Eldoret tumefurahia because we are going to speak up our minds. We are going to see a lot of investors coming. We are also going to see a lot of people bringing new ideas to our county. So it is a good thing. Uasin Gishu, let us be ready to see a lot of visitors, and we are very ready for this devolution conference.
Maneno ya devolution, tunafurahia mwaka hii kuje katika kaunti yetu ya Uasin Gishu, kwa maana kuna mambo mengi sisi kama kaunti tuta benefit. Na ukiona kuanzia 2013 mpaka saa hii maneno ya devolution imetusaidia mpaka ground imepata vitu mingi ambayo haikuwa. So tunakaribisha wageni wakuje wa feel free katika kaunti yetu ya Uasin Gishu, na mambo ya Finland saga, hiyo maneno ya maandamano, tunaomba wazazi wenye walipoteza hizo pesa kwa viongozi wanyamaze kwanza, mambo iishe alafu watarudi.
And of course, that is a developing story that we continue to keep tabs on the devolution conference that is set to begin tomorrow, August 15th, and head all the way to August 19th. Elsewhere, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has insisted, that they will continue to follow the protocols in terms of the Constitution to keep up or to ensure that police are responsible for the police brutality that was witnessed in Nyalenda in Kisumu County. Here is that listen in earlier from the date when the Right Honorable Raila Odinga spoke.
Mr. Ruto, your askaris are guilty of using offensive violence against the people that you swore to protect and defend. You have become a killer of the people there. Your agents, led by your Inspector General, called Mr. Comey, are guilty of genocide. They're killing innocent people in Kenya who are exercising their democratic right to protest. And that's why you and your regime stand accused. You stand charged. And we are going to prosecute these charges to the highest court in the world. We will ensure that Kenyan people are allowed to defend their constitution. We are going to ensure that the Constitution of 2010, which you opposed, is respected and as a shield for the people here. Because maandamano was everywhere in this country, but you cannot explain why for the Luo, they were only aiming at the head, at the heart, and in the pelvic area. We want to say that it is really unfortunate that we are being killed at a time some Luo called Raymond Omolo has been put there as the PS. And he comes from Nairobi. He leaves 18 dead bodies at Russia. 2 dead bodies in Bongo. Then he goes to Nyamira to mourn a house. Continue talking about you. You have made the police service. It came from a police force to a police service. And now you have made it an agent of brutality in the entire country. We were telling them that you must stop, and stop. We want peace in Kenya. We want development in Kenya. And it will not come through brutality. We cannot let you revise all the gains that Kenyan people have made through blood and sweat. And you want to take us back 50 years. Kenyans should not think that Kenya is an island of peace. You cannot be an island of peace when there is no justice. Justice must be accompanied by, peace must be accompanied by justice. That the blood of all people will not go for nothing. The blood of all people will be punished. And even God, the young God, does not revenge on your successors. God revenges on you, and God is going to revenge on you.
Anything positive that has been achieved in this country has always had the signature and the hand of the Luo. Not because they're Luos, but they care about the country at large. You had better stop threatening us by profiling, by killing, by maiming our people, because we shall never.
Reconstituted bipartisan talks spearheaded by House Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka resumed on Monday following the appointment of technical teams by both sides. Ichung'wah named Kenya Kwanza's 4-member technical team comprising of Muthoni Thiankolu, Linda Musumba, Nick Biketi and Duncan Ojwang on Friday as a follow-up to an inaugural meeting held at the Nairobi's Bomas of Kenya on Wednesday. Ichung'wah said the technical team will play a key role in backing the government's delegation.
As far as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya is concerned, our teams have been ready, but I think that we are and we want them to engage so that they can look, as you remember, both sides had their set of agendas, and it's important they get synchronized. And that we leave to the technical team to be able to provide the way forward. Once that is agreed, I think we'll be on our way.
Therefore, we shall be engaging in that dialogue process, which now formally begins because we have now the two technical teams from both sides formally constituted. We have a secretariat that, as we agreed last week, myself and the leader of minority in the National Assembly were to engage with both speakers of the House. We have engaged with them and they have been gracious enough to grant us a secretariat that will be helping us in putting together whatever we need throughout this engagement.
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and other legislators from Western Kenya have voiced their support for the ongoing bipartisan negotiations between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja coalition. This comes as the Luhya leaders have selected the former Bungoma senator as the spokesperson of the region.
Makali kutoka Kandui.
So I come before you, my brothers and sisters, to beg you that our unit of purpose will make a difference in our lives tomorrow. Na hiyo umoja haitafika kwa sisi kuendelea kutukanana, kuchukiana, kusema maneno isiyo na maana. Itakuja if we are our brother's keeper.
Muungano yetu ndio umoja wetu. Na tutaheshimika na jamii zingine kama tumeungana. Muarudishe kwa njia, muambie sisi lazima tuungane ndio jamii zote zituheshimu sisi kama jamii ya Western region.
Watu wa Western, umeona venye speaker ametushikilia sisi wote. Tunashukuru waheshimiwa Western wameshikana na kila mtu. Saa hii watoto wanaenda KDF, tunafaa kuomba. Tutaomba nani? Ni kina speaker tu na kina msali hao. Hakuna watu wengine. Tuamuke wana Western, tushikane venye jamii hizi zingine zinashikana. Unaenda mkiwa timu kubwa na mko na numbers, muombe chenu kwa serikali. Speaker bipartisan ni lazima ishikane bwana. Hii nchi lazima iendelee. We continue like this, speaker. So for us as women, we want to see peace. We don't want to see bodies being brought home. Ati tunazika watoto, ati sijui walifanya nini, na tunawacha hizo familia hivyo hivyo.
Tumekuwa na taharuki, tukakuwa na maandamano, tukaharibu mali, tukapoteza maisha. Sasa ni kushukuru upande zote mbili. Bipartisan talks, tumeweka viongozi wakuja pamoja ili waangalie ni nini inakera siasa ya nchi.
Now, Azimio leader Raila Odinga today held a meeting with visiting U.S. Senator Chris Coons ahead of the resumption of talks by the National Dialogue Committee on Monday, 14th August. Though details of the talks are still scanty, sources close to Odinga say the talks centered on the ongoing talks and the Azimio agenda that has been tabled by its representatives. Coons was in the country late March this year when he held talks with President William Ruto, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, and also Azimio leader Raila Odinga, which handlers say focused on development and the upholding of the rule of law. Well, apologies for the typos. It is not about Odinga seeking police brutality, but it is about Raila Odinga, who today met the U.S. Senator Chris Coons. Away from that, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu have said the reforms proposed by the Presidential Working Party will re-engineer the education sector. Gachagua and Machogu, who spoke in different functions, added that the government's lion's share of budget allocation to the sector illustrates the Kenya Kwanza's administration commitment to reforms in the sector for socio-economic growth.
Ikawa university ni mangaiko, twende nipishe katika university yetu, ikawa imeenda mpaka 62 billion. Ndio mimi pamoja na rais tukaketi tukasema lazima tupate jawabu ambayo itasaidia Wakenya, jawabu ambayo itahakikisha ya kwamba kila mtoto wetu asa ametoka familia maskini, ametoka familia yoyote,
ataweza pata masomo, asome university, asome TVET institutions, na hakuna Mkenya vile tunaongea sasa atakaa nyumbani kwamba amekosa school fees katika university. Ndio tumetoa mfumo ambaye scholarship, mtoto anajaza form, hata ile admission ambaye mnaona mtoto anakuja naye ikituma kama ni kutoka Kisii University, kuna pahali imeandikwa hapa na tumetoa kwa mtandao, pahali ataenda atajaza, na iko wengine watapata 82% scholarship na 18% loan ya Higher Loans Education Board.
Ili kama kiongozi hapa Kenya, mimi nikizungumza sasa kama babu na mama, ninaunga mkono uwiano kati ya mirengo ya kisiasa. Hiyo ninaunga mkono ya kwamba wanasiasa wawe na mbinu na mwelekeo wa kuzungumzana. Leaders must be able to talk and consult and resolve issues maturely. Mimi ninaunga mkono kabisa 100% rafiki na heshima kati ya Rais William Ruto na kiongozi Raila Amolo Odinga. Ninaunga mkono kabisa ya kwamba kuwe na heshima, kuwe na uwiano, kuwe na ushirikiano, lakini hiyo heshima lazima iwe na foundation, iwe na anchor.
A family from Malindi town in Kilifi is seeking help to retrieve the body of their kin who dived to her death at the Kilifi Bridge, 60 kilometers away from Kilifi town. According to the family of the deceased, 22-year-old Beatrice Neema Kalume, who was a final year student at the Shanzu Teachers College in Mombasa County, left home in Malindi on Thursday last week, and it is now the 4th day without trace. Mrs. Mary Mwandondo, Neema's mother, said that her daughter woke up early on Thursday morning and left the home, but she did not reveal where she was going. It is now the 4th day of searching at the Kilifi Creek, but the body has not been retrieved. And now the family is seeking help after the county government told them that it has no divers, forcing them to hire local fishermen for the search job.
Majina yangu naitwa Mary Pahe Mwandondo, natoka Malindi. Tafuta mtoto wangu ameingia kwa maji usiku wa kuamkia Alhamisi. Wametafuta wale wavuvi wametafuta, ile boti la kaunti limeenda, lakini sasa hii nimeshinda hapa huu mchana wa leo. Wameingia tu asubuhi masaa kama mawili, wametoka wakafuata shughuli zao. Mimi nikapata msaada mwingine, kwa kataka msaada mwingine nikasaidiwa na wavuvi. Sasa hivi nimeshindikana, sijapata msaada. Sijaona msaada leo, mpaka mtoto wangu sahihi bado yuko kwa maji, mimi nenda. Na ni siku ya 4 leo. Sijapata msaada. Kwa hivyo naomba msaada kwa serikali yetu ya Kilifi, kiwa kunao niweze kupata msaada. Pata ile mifupa ya mtoto wangu, nikastiri na mimi nipumzike. Nilikuwa tumelala sote hapo nyumbani, lakini akatoka hapo saa 10 kasoro dakika 5. Akatoka, nikamuuliza, "Na unaenda wapi, mbona umeshuruka mbio?" Akasema enda kunywa maji. Mwambia maji yako hapo juu ya friji. Akasema sitaki maji ya friji. Nikamwambia hayako kwa friji, yako hapo juu. Akasema sitaki maji ya hapa, nenda kwa mfereji. Kagonga mlango na akatoka nje. Nikatoka kumshauri kakake. Tunamwangalia hivi, huku hayuko.
Kwa sasa kama taarifa zinavyosema, alituchosha kwa maji na imefikia siku ya takriban siku 4. Tumekuwa tukimtafuta kwa maji, lakini bado kufikia sasa hatujapata mafanikio, ambao inakuwa ni kama donda ambalo linaongezeka kila wakati, kwa sababu the fact that alishajirusha, hiyo tayari ni kidonda kwetu. Alafu vile tunamtafuta tunamkosa, bado inaongezea uchungu ambao mpaka sasa japo tunatarajia kumpata, lakini still bado tuna hofu, kwa sababu hatujui kama ama bado hatuna ule uhakika kwamba tutampata, lakini still bado tuna imani kwamba tutampata. So palipo na msaada serikali, mkaweze kutusaidia ili tukaweze kumpata na tuweze kumstiri ili tukaweze kupona kwa wakati mmoja.
Kwa majina naitwa Teddy Kalume. Mwenye amejirusha hapo dadangu mdogo wangu. Na leo siku ya 3. Leo siku ya 4 tunamtafuta bila mafanikio yote. tumejaribu kutafuta msaada lakini hatujaona msaada. Sababu tulifika hapa siku ya Alhamisi tukiongelea na ofisi watu wa rescue, wakatuambia tungoje siku 3 turudi nyumbani watatuinform kama kuna information yote.
Kwa majina naitwa Tom Kai kutoka Malindi. Aliyejitosa kwenye maji ni mtoto wa dadangu. Tumekuwa hapa toka Thursday asubuhi, lakini kama hatujapata msaada wote kutoka kwa serikali ya county na hata serikali kuu. Tumekuwa hapa tunakodisha vifaa, mitungi ya gesi na kila kitu imetugharimu, lakini pia hatujapata mafanikio yote. Tukuulizia watu wa county, wanasema kwamba county haijaajiri watu divers, tuangalie private divers, lakini sasa hatujafanikiwa kabisa. Leo ni siku ya 4 na sasa pia tunaenda nyumbani, hatujajua kuendelea nini, hatujakuwa address na the officials from the county government, governor, watu wake wote hatujawahi.
Nyandarua police on Monday raided a farm belonging to a 59-year-old farmer at Kambirwa village, Ol Kalau constituency, where they uprooted flourishing bang estimated to be worth 700,000 Kenyan shillings. In an interesting twist, the residents expressed displeasure with the police raid, saying the crop was doing better at the farm and had better market value than Irish potato and dairy farming, which are the main Nyandarua cash crops. Admiring the enticing health crop at Ol Kalau police station, residents blamed the police for destroying such flourishing crop that would have earned the farmer handsomely, adding that the government should legalize growing weed.
Today, this morning, we received information from a member of public that there was bank that had been planted in land belonging to one of the wananchi within our area. Police officers from this station went to the directed place. And it was a shamba of one man called Paul Mwangi Kariuki, a man aged 59 years, where we found the cannabis sativa had been planted. The officers uprooted, together the members of public and the Ngao team, uprooted at least 2,500 stems of the planted bang. The same was estimated at approximately 650,000 shillings. The specific place, exact point where the man lived is a village called Matati in Kaimbaga location of our sub-county. It was quite unfortunate, and we were so happy also that we managed to get the intelligence concerning the bang, and we uprooted everything from that land. The land itself was approximately a quarter of an acre. Okay, as information to the members of the public, we are happy when you give us information concerning such issues, because it really helps us to get the information and to act on the same. We expect that all members of public give us such information, because these particular products can create a lot of harm in the society, especially to the young people.
St. Anne's Girls Mumia Cyrilla Sanya Primary School head teacher says the school is facing a major infrastructure challenge to face the new competency-based curriculum education system, which includes the junior secondary school. Sanya has asked the government to increase the financial allocation given to schools in an effort to meet the demands of the curriculum. Apart from the classes, he says the same is also facing a shortage of teachers, where they found only 4 JSS teachers to serve 258 students. Reports show that many public schools are facing the challenges of shortage of classrooms, laboratories, teachers, and learning materials.
The government is giving the textbooks looking at the population as it were last year when they were doing KIPSEA. Now, a boarding school has attracted very many other girls from other schools. That means the enrollment has gone high, in comparison to the textbooks that have been brought. The government only posted a few teachers. We got 4. 4 teachers, you have 14 subjects, we have 6 streams, and the projects we have to run. You need to have a music room running, art and craft room running. We are now talking of a laboratory. And we didn't have these rooms to begin with. So you have to look for a room somewhere for these things to begin working. So the government capitation that is there is not enough. During the day, we get the bus out of the garage and let the learners carry out activities. In the evening, we get it in. It is that serious. Looking at our compound, we are even talking of maybe demolishing some classes and going upwards. But where are the funds? Yeah, because we do not have actually a place that will say we'll have to put up a classroom. Our room is very small. Now, computer has come up as a subject. If you have 6 streams, and all of them have to go to the lab at least once a day. So even making the timetable becomes a challenge.
Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport Kipchumba Murkomen presided over unloading the second set of ship-to-shore gantry cranes at berth number 16 in Mombasa Port. These new cranes are claimed for their hoisting speed of 80 meters per minute and the ability to lift 65 tons, notably enhances the port's operational capabilities. With the capacity to handle 21 containers across, these modern giants are a testament to the port's unwavering commitment to global trade precision. CS Murkomen stressed the significance of these investments, underscoring the Port of Mombasa's impressive growth in cargo handling and container traffic during the first half of 2023. Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nahumicha Wafula has launched a census of health centers across the country to identify the gaps in the sector. The Ministry of Health has officially started the process in various health centers as one of the ways to improve the provision of health services to citizens. The exercise is expected to continue for 2 weeks, targeting 15,000 public and private facilities. Speaking at the launch of the exercise, the CS, Susan Nahumicha, said that the statistics that will be included from the exercise will help the ministry to determine how to strengthen the provision of services in various health centers in the country.
It is important for us to be able to undertake this exercise, for us to be able to know the services that are being offered by our health facilities. But more critical is also the resources that are present in the various facilities in terms of health infrastructure, health equipment, and most important of all, the health workforce present. Based on this data collected, we'll be able to determine the gaps, and then we'll be able to reflect back as a government together with the development partners as to how to resource mobilize to address those gaps.
From the county government in terms of equipment support, human resource support, infrastructure support. We do not want to do it selectively. And that is why we have this health assessment, that as an outcome, then we know exactly what facility needs to be supported with what. From my technical teams, it is anticipated that this exercise will take up to 2 weeks. And after that, we will share the report publicly so that people can know what service is available at what level. And as an end result, then we shall also establish the PCNs to allow people to go through the continuum of care.
Samburu Governor Lati Lelelit has warned negligent contractors who carry out shoddy work that their iron is in the fire. Leleti was speaking about this during the inauguration of the construction of a water project costing 50 million shillings in Sesia, Samburu East. Governor Lati has said he will not allow public funds to be squandered through poor performance of contractors. Residents of Sesia in Samburu have been struggling to find water while facing the challenge of dealing with wildlife. The project has been launched to deal with the water shortage in the area, and the project is funded by the national government and the county government.
Kilomita karibu 20, mama anaenda na 20 liters mpaka huko mto, na watoto pia wa shule kwa saa 9 hawasomi mpaka saa 11, wanaenda mpaka mtoni, wanapatana na ndofu, wanapatana hata na mamba.
Kuna madhara mingi hata tunapata kwa watoto. Mtoto anaenda kwa laga, anaenda kushota maji kwa laga. Sema sasa sengine hata wanapata ndofu, watoto wanauliwa na ndofu kwa sababu ya kushota maji. Wengine hata wanapatikana huko na mamba wakati maji iko kwa mto kwa wingi.
Imekuwa shida kubwa mambo ya maji. People are moving more than 8 kilometers to look for water, and mostly it is so expensive for the county government because it has been supporting them on water tracking, which have been so much expensive.
Hawa wasichana kama walikuwa shuleni watakosa shule kwa muda mrefu. Tumesikia pia wengine wazee wanaozwa wakiwa wachanga ili waende kusaidia katika hizo household responsibilities. Lakini tukipata maji, tunajua wasichana wetu watabaki shuleni, watasoma, hawatakuwa exposed tena na watarudi kuwa viongozi katika jamii hii.
Hapa ukiwa na maji utapata security, because wakati ya jilali watu wanapigania maji, so it's a security issue. Maji kipatikana kwa karibu, watoto wanaenda shule, kwa sababu wakati maji hakuna, wazazi wanakataa kupeleka watoto shule kwa sababu watoto wanapeleka mifugo kwa maji ama wanaenda kushota maji. Trakta chuma yako iko motoni. Hii project isipoisha, mimi nitakustaki vibaya sana. Na contractor hapa nasikia. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia kazi mzuri. Tunatarajia kazi yenye inaisha wakati within time frame ile tumeweka. Tuko na pesa. County national government umetoa pesa. Sisi tumetoa. So hakuna excuse.
Mimi kama senator ningehimiza sana county government wakiona kwamba kuna wafanyabiashara ama wengi ambao contractors ambao tunapea kazi hawatimizi yale ambao tulikuwa tumewapea, basi ni sheria kukataza yeye kazi.
Kenya has offered to give technical military training to the Democratic Republic of Congo troops, besides serving as one of East Africa Community's regional forces in troubled regional country. Signing the agreement, Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, who also visited Kenyan troops in the troubled eastern region of the expansive country, said this will restore Kenya's former glory as a global leader in peacekeeping efforts. Martin, who is one of the officers in the DRC, had this to say.
Achievement of the aircraft from opening up the main supply routes, reducing civilian casualties, opening up of the humanitarian cause in East Africa. Not only in the military, but we're leaders in the economy, you know? And even here, a stable DRC is good for Kenya.
We need to also now project specialized capabilities, and there's a lot of opportunities in that. You can do air support, you can do medical support, you can even do post-conflict reconstruction.
Provide an operating framework to guide the Kenya Military Assistance Training Team in partnership with their FRDC colleagues by optimizing our mutual defense capabilities.
Our training is very robust. Our training reflects the value system of KDF. Our training instills a lot of discipline and professionalism. So all over the world where we go for training, we want to export our doctrine and our training.
Kenyan troops are doing extremely well in terms of, projecting the image of the country and being able to implement the mandate for which Kenyans have.